Good morning, this is Stat Sensei, Mr. Spensei, and our scenario here is we're going to write the exit ticket. So this is the exit ticket, and it's specifically writing the conclusion for the what we did in our warm up. So let's go back and look at our warm up scenario and what we actually did. And the scenario was an election poll, and we had two polls. One was a random sample of 800, in which 460 favored a particular candidate. But just before the election, a second poll consisted of a random sample. So we have a second random sample of 1,000 registered voters, and only 520 showed them were in favor of them. After the first poll, we had 57.5% in favor. After the second poll, we had 52% in favor. So then we created a 90% confidence interval for the difference in proportions of the two polls, and this was our outcome. It appears that there was somewhere between a 1.5% to 9.5%, or a 1.6% drop to a 9.37% drop in the number of people or the proportion of people supporting the candidate. So we need to write this up. So we are 90% confident that the true population proportion of the difference between people supporting the candidate early in the polls and in the late polls lies within our interval. Well, first off, let's talk about some of this stuff. This right here is just a restatement of our interval that we already had. This was the 90% confidence interval that they told us to run. The next thing is in our notes, we define the parameter, the true population proportion difference between people supporting the candidate early in the polls. And so that would be our first, that would be our P1, let P1, and P2 supporting the candidate late in the polls. So this is just restating our two parameters, but combining them together with an and statement. That's all that's happening here. Okay. Well, I sure hope that helped. And I know it was quick, but I think that covered it. And look forward to seeing you on the next one. Thank you.